Every wild animal on Earth is born with one rule burned into its nervous system. Run from humans, not lions, not snakes, not sharks, humans. And yet, sometimes, in the worst moment of an animal's life, something impossible happens. A wolf stops fighting. An elephant reaches out its trunk. A 50-ton whale holds perfectly still, while tiny humans with knives cut her free. The question is terrifying, because if wild animals truly understand when we're trying to help them, then they understand far more about us than we ever imagined. Every second a wild animal spends near a human feels wrong to its body. The calculation starts instantly. Distance, movement, eye contact, speed, direction. Before conscious thought even exists, the nervous system has already decided. Danger. Biologists found something disturbing about this response. Even animals raised far away from humans, species with almost no direct human contact, still react to us like we're the final boss of evolution. Not curiosity, not caution, fear, deep fear. And it isn't learned, it's inherited. Somewhere across thousands of years, nature reached a conclusion about us and hardwired it into the animal kingdom itself. Humans are the thing you run from, which makes wildlife rescues incredibly strange. Because when an animal is trapped, caught in wire, tangled in fishing nets, sinking into mud, its body enters a state almost impossible for humans to understand. Stress hormones explode through the bloodstream, heart rate skyrockets, muscles lock so hard they begin destroying themselves from the inside. To the animal's brain, this is not being stuck. This is death beginning. And then we arrive. Imagine what that looks like from their perspective. The most dangerous creature on Earth, walking directly toward you, at the exact moment you can't escape. That's why trapped animals thrash violently when rescuers get close. Their nervous system thinks the hunt is entering its final stage. This is the moment the predator kills you. But then, sometimes, something changes. Wildlife rescuers describe seeing it happen in real time. The body softens slightly. The panic slows. The animal stops fighting. And instead of looking away, it looks directly at the human. Not with aggression, not with surrender, with attention, as if something inside the animal is trying to solve a puzzle it has never seen before. In 2005, divers found a humpback whale trapped in fishing ropes near San Francisco. 12 massive crab traps dragged behind her body, ropes cut into her mouth, tail, and fins. She was barely staying above water. One strike from her tail could have killed a diver instantly. But the moment the rescuers entered the water, the whale stopped fighting. Completely. For over an hour, this 50-ton animal stayed almost perfectly still while tiny humans swam around her body with knives. And witnesses reported something even stranger. Several times, the whale adjusted her position, almost like she understood what the divers were trying to reach, rolling slightly, lifting a fin, giving them access to the ropes. Nobody knows exactly what was happening inside her mind. But researchers think the answer may come from something deeper than intelligence. Pattern recognition. Predators move with speed, aggression, precision. Everything in nature recognizes those patterns. But rescuers move differently. Slowly, carefully, without attacking. The animal's brain searches for the normal predator pattern and finds nothing. It doesn't know what this behavior means. And for one tiny moment, the fear system loses its target. The animal pauses, not because it suddenly trusts humans, but because reality stops matching evolution's expectations, and that pause can look almost haunting. Researchers once found a wolf trapped in a steel leg-hold trap in Yellowstone. Every time someone approached, the wolf lunged violently, teeth exposed, pure survival instinct. Then, one researcher did something unusual. He stopped moving and held eye contact. Not aggressive eye contact, not dominance, just stillness. The wolf slowly stopped lunging, Then it sat down and kept staring back. When the researchers finally released the trap, the wolf didn't run immediately. It stood there silently for a moment, watching the humans, then disappeared into the trees. Scientists call this suspension of threat response. But honestly, that phrase feels too small for what people keep witnessing, because some animals don't leave immediately after being rescued. And that's where this gets unsettling. Elephants rescued from mud pits in Kenya have been documented touching rescuers with their trunks after being freed. Slowly, deliberately, and that matters, because an elephant's trunk is not just a nose. It's one of the most sensitive organs in the animal kingdom. When an elephant touches something carefully with its trunk, it's examining it with extraordinary precision. Researchers noticed some elephants remained near rescuers long after escape was possible. No panic, no aggression, no reason to stay, just presence, as if the animal was trying to understand what had happened. And then there's the whale. After divers finally cut away the last rope, the humpback didn't swim off. Instead, she circled back again and again, then approached each diver individually, one by one, gently touching them with the side of her jaw before moving to the next person. One diver later admitted it felt like gratitude. Scientists hate using that word because once you say an animal felt gratitude, you open a terrifying door. You admit that maybe animals are not just reacting to the world, maybe they're experiencing it. And modern neuroscience keeps making that possibility harder to ignore. Humpback whales possess specialized brain cells associated with empathy and social awareness. Elephants mourn their dead. Wolves form lifelong emotional bonds with pack members. Again and again, science discovers traits we once believed belonged only to humans. And every discovery creates the same uncomfortable feeling. The gap between us and them keeps shrinking. Maybe that's why these rescue stories affect people so deeply. Because for a brief moment, the oldest relationship in nature breaks. Predator and prey stop behaving the way evolution designed them to, and something else appears in its place. Something neither side fully understands. The honest answer is that scientists still don't know whether animals truly understand human intention. Maybe they're simply reacting to abnormal behavior patterns. Maybe stress changes perception. Maybe we're projecting human emotions onto creatures that don't experience the world the way we do. But maybe, sometimes, an animal realizes the creature it feared most is trying to save its life. And if that's true, then somewhere in the mind of a wolf, or an elephant, or a whale suspended in dark, freezing water, there exists a moment where fear transforms into something else. Not friendship, not trust, just recognition. One living thing understanding another. And honestly, that might be even more profound.